This video is going to walk you through Project 4 in class, where we make melodies. So let's go to Canvas to see what that is. Canvas, we click on the Project 4. And it's going to have a PDF that shows us everything. Here's the whole instruction set for what to do. Let's escape out of that. Down below it, we're going to see this Project 4 Create Melody Project. So first thing says a bunch of stuff, and then it says download that thing. So let's download that. And let's open it up. In Windows, I'm actually going to right click and extract this thing. And when you do, it'll have this folder with the Ableton Live project in it. Then go ahead and open that up. Let's also go ahead and download this whole PDF so we can look at this and go back and forth for reference to it. So it says melodies are made up of pitches that follow one after another. At the same time would be harmony. They use notes found in scales. They usually move by steps to notes that are right next to each other, although sometimes they can jump around. And oftentimes they sound interesting when you put rhythms into them, rhythmic patterns to help push them along. And we're going to do all this stuff using Ableton Live's tools and some stuff we had before without having to know music theory. So after we download this project, which we just did, and open it up, we're going to go to step 3 here. Select the MIDI clips from the Super Seesaw track and copy them to the track above by holding down the Alt and then dragging them upward. So what does that mean? We already have materials in here. I'm going to shift click, then hold down the Alt button and drag up. Once I do, it'll make a copy of those. And if we play it, we're going to hear the previous stuff, the chords, plus this guitar track. Now we're going to select these two that we just made and combine them together by choosing them, right-clicking on them, and hitting Consolidate. Just makes it so it's one big track. So I select both, right-click, and hit Consolidate. We're actually going to skip this Add 12 pitch step here on 5. But sometimes when it's not high enough, you want to add the pitch shift on it, and it'll make things higher for you or lower for you. Let's now go to 6, where it says MIDI effects, scale, minor. MIDI effects, scale. Let's go down to where it says minor. We're going to drag that onto our track. You can either drag it all the way over like this, or you can drag it down in front of the track like this. What that's going to do is it's going to force all these notes in here to be in a minor scale when we later try to draw them in there. And that's good because it's going to make it so we can't put notes in that don't fit in the scale. This scale actually doesn't have C minor though, it has A minor, so we're going to move this all the way over to where it says A. Now if we play it, it should sound about the same. But it's actually done stuff in the background for us. It's made it so that this is not going to allow notes outside of our scale. Cool, got that done. Now we're going to use some rhythms from words to make the melody more interesting. So oftentimes when we speak, we're speaking with the rhythms in our words. And we're used to words that have certain lengths, some parts longer and shorter. So if I say headphones, it's usually like 2 kind of longish notes, headphones of even value, and melodies is like melodies, da da da. Short, short, long. Headphones, melodies. Headphones, melodies. Da 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 da. So that creates sort of like a series of rhythms, a pattern of rhythms that I can use that will infuse the melody with more interest. At the moment, all we have is just a copy higher up of the same notes we use for the chords. So we're going to try to make things slightly different than that. Okay. So let's take the headphones 1 and use 2 equal quarter note values, headphones. I'm going to double click on here to show my notes. Each of these little sections here is a quarter note long. I'm going to put, at the moment, put this thing onto quarter notes so I can see it. My note's too long right now. It's a half note long, 2 beats. So I'm going to go trim it. Hit Control D to duplicate it. And then you can use the arrows up and down. I'm just move it around to where you like. This should stay all within the same scale. If you go to wrong notes, they'll just be repeated as parts in the scale. So here I moved it up and down, it didn't change pitch. That's because it's locking it to the scale. Now I have 2 notes filling in the earlier time for like the headphones beat. Not much different from before, but something. Next we're going to use the one from melodies. So the word melodies has 2 short syllables, mellow, and then D's, long one, melodies. So we're going to take its rhythm and make it into 2 eighth notes followed by a quarter. Short, short, long, eighth, quarter. So we'll start them here, but I have to change this grid here to be eighth notes to do that. So I'm first just going to make it into an eighth note size, then duplicate it. That would be 2 eighth notes for mellow. One more time, D's. I'm going to extend it out too because it's longer. Eighth, quarter, melodies. I could repeat the notes. I mean, I could have them repeat like that, but I'm going to move them around. This one. So it's kind of like moving up towards this note. Headphones, melodies, whatever. This longer one. I could do the same thing basically again here. So I'm going to shorten this thing down to be at a quarter note. Duplicate it. Make this one into 2 eighths and a quarter. Duplicate, and extend. And so now I have this. Nothing amazing, but it works, and it's using only notes in the scale, so it combines nicely with those chords. Once I've done this, I can experiment a bit too. It can change some of the pitches up and down in ways that I like. Oftentimes it's nice to have one highest note that's like a climactic note in a melody. So we'll change notes up and down a little bit while they're looping. We can move a few notes so they don't start right on numbered beats too. That makes it so that they have what's called syncopation, which is done a lot in rock music. So if I did this one here, it starts right in the beat. And I'm going to move it over here. It overlaps with this one, so make it so it doesn't. Sometimes just not having a note there too, having a rest can be good. So I'm going to remove this one. And this, I kind of wanted to go higher and have some climactic point because I don't really have any higher notes. So I'm going to make it shorter here. And I'm going to duplicate, but I'm going to make one of these next 2 notes be off of the main number 2, 3. It's like right in the middle of 2.2 and 2.3. Make them the full length. Maybe I can also experiment by going in here and doing some faster notes. If I do this triplet grid, it'll let me do notes in groups of threes. Can be fun. I'm gonna actually hit the brush tool B. Make a couple of those. Hit it again and then kind of move around. So just moving them around, but using that triplet grid there, kind of faster at the end. Now you wouldn't want to do that every time because it'd get annoying to have something kind of more wild like that at the end, but every once in a while you can do something that has like a little flourish in it. Cool, so I've basically created what I need to. Just gonna select this loop that I have now, save it, and then export it like usual. Export my thing. I don't need this analysis file, which may be on yours at some point. Normalize means to make it as loud as it can. So I say, yeah, all that is good, cool, and I export it. Go to my SoundCloud, log in, hit upload, find my melody, make sure it works. Does. Hit save. It does. Copy this link, right? Then I'm gonna go back into here. So I hit submit assignment, paste it in there. And I've successfully submitted it. Nice.